So with the video that I posted yesterday on Saints Row and my review, I feel like I did provide a lot of positive and negatives. A lot of you guys have even put in the comments like, hey, it seems like you want to give this a positive review, but you have a lot of caveats and you're giving disclaimers a lot. Yeah, because I knew I liked the game, but I also knew the game wasn't $60. And I feel like I placed my opinions out there very firmly that the game wasn't worth $60. The game wasn't a good game compared to its peers. You know, if you was to put this next to any other game that came out in 2022, this would be the worst game of this year. And I understood that going into the review. I just didn't think that it was as bad as people were saying it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like the worst Saints Row game ever. We've had worse Saints Rows. God Out of Hell was a worse Saints Row than Saints Row the reboot. Just simply. Saints Row 4 was a worse Saints Row than Saints Row the reboot. Just simply, in my opinion. I feel like I enjoyed this Saints Row even more than my favorite Saints Row. That's my personal opinion. And I mean, like, honestly, like, I don't know what to tell y'all niggas. Like, a lot of people, they just want you to shit on the game. And if you're not shitting on the game, then they gonna shit on you. And it's like, bro, grow the fuck up. Like, dead ass. Like, grow the fuck up, my dude. I had a lot more things bad to say about the game. I just didn't want the review to last as long as 30, 45 minutes just to shit on the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could make a whole nother video for that and not have it be 30 or 45 minutes. Because honestly, I'm a small YouTuber, you know what I'm saying? Like, people don't want to sit here and watch a 30 to 45 minute video of me reviewing a game, you know what I'm saying, that I actually like. And they already don't want, like, I made a 20-minute video and I could just tell people didn't make it that far in the video. Like, it was a 20-minute video. I made certain critiques towards the games. I gave you guys my opinion as to why I like the game and why I feel like it holds up with other Saints Rows. And people still didn't really make it that far into the video. So I didn't really want to make that video 30 minutes just to list all of my complaints about the game. So this is what this video is. These are all my complaints about the game. Now, first off, my first complaint is the ventures. The ventures can sometimes be cool. They have some cool ventures in the game. Like, for example, there's a venture where you're getting into tech. It's a tech business. And essentially you steal a lot of tech from Marshall, which is the militia in the game. And that's where you get your hoverboard from. That's where you get like this wall where you can shoot through walls and also double your damage. And also you get like this homing missile that if it's attached to someone, they start taking off into the air. It's a lot of cool stuff that you get from that venture. My main problem with the ventures is that the cool ventures, like the one that I just explained, are the ones with the least missions, but the ones that are the most repetitive and the ones that you really wouldn't want to do more than 3 times are the ones that is 12 missions that you have to complete in order to finish the venture. Like, for example, gym robs, which is the repetitive ventures that I hate. I hate gym robs. You have to go from gym robs shop or from wherever you are, go pick up a car, and then you have to take that car back to gym rob shop. And then the process repeats. And it doesn't sound that bad, but not only do you have to do that, but you have like these super aggro ass cars that like, whether it's the cops or it's a rival gang, that'll hit you and you have to literally like, sometimes I would get spooked when I would see 2,000 miles that I have to travel from where I'm at to get to Jim Rob's shop, because the way that the aggro enemies are, it makes it very, very difficult to have fun driving that car over there. It's so fucking annoying. I've had to redo missions so many times, not because the game was difficult, but just because of the aggro nature of these cars hitting you. It was the most annoying shit in the world. Sometimes they will flip your car, and trust me, that's another bad thing about this game. This game is almost like it was made in goddamn 2008, nigga. Like, you can't even flip your car over. That's how dated that shit is. And it's so fucking annoying when they flip your car and you can't wiggle your car back around. Because once they flip your car, it's game over, essentially. You lost the mission. You likely died if you didn't get out the car. It's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Also, if your car lands in water, your car is done. And it could not even be like a huge puddle of water. Like, not like you landed in the ocean. It could be in a drivable state where in any other game you would be able to drive. Your car would instantly die. That's another annoying thing with this game. But the Gym Rob ventures are 12 missions long. And you have other ventures like the Toxic Waste venture that is 12 missions long. Why? Shraggy? Why would you make it that long? You know what I'm saying? Like, and all of the stuff that is fun. Like, for example, I like the role play missions. You have a venture where you can buy a role play kingdom or whatever. Those role play missions in the main missions and in the adventures were some of the most fun that I think I've had. It was very cute. It's very jokey. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? It was fun. But they only have like 2 or 3 missions of that. Why? Everything else is like fucking 12. All the annoying, repetitive bullshit is like 12 missions long. But then the stuff that's actually cool and is different than the rest of the gameplay, they give you like 3 missions of that. They give you 3 or 4 missions of that. And it's just like, what? Shraggy? And you know what the crazy thing is? I don't think it would be a problem if they just made each venture across the board like 4 or 5 missions. Because it's like at least, well, I would say like 10 ventures. So if you have 10 ventures, 5 missions apiece, that's like at least 50 missions. Like, I think that would have been perfect, but they wanted to stretch the shit so long and make it so fucking repetitive and stressed out that the most repetitive shit, they was like, yeah, we can make them do that fucking 12 times. It was bullshit. Another negative is, I will say, sometimes the dialogue is a little cringy. It's a little cringy. I like the story, but the dialogue is a whole nother thing. It's not like it's woke. That's not really my problem with it, but you can just definitely tell it wasn't written by someone in the industry that's been here for a long time. It does have remnants of old Saints Row. Some of the dialogue does have remnants of that old Saints Row feeling, but at the same time, they be saying some cringy shit. Like, I remember at this one point, it almost felt like you were in a Friends TV show with no laugh track. And I, like, dead ass, it was like, bro, here's a clip. I'll just play the clip from my live stream.
You could actually just take the loan.
Eli, I don't do business with morally bankrupt companies.
You work for Marshall.
Brunch is a time for friends and mimosas, not debates on morality.
All right.
Man, this is really fucking good, Kev.
Thanks. I was worried I added too much pepper.
No, seriously, this is perfect. The only way this could be better is if you put on a fucking shirt.
Dinner and a show, baby.
Oh, please.
What was that? Oh, please.
Okay, brunch is done, dishes are clean. Let's go rob payday
Yeah.
place.
And you
The
know
fuck
I
was
just-
that? As you can see, the shit it can get a cringe. It can get a little bit cringy, you know what I'm saying? So I will give that as a negative. I definitely think sometimes I didn't roll my eyes as much as I thought I would, which is why I didn't talk too much about the dialogue. But sometimes they say some cringy ass shit and it's just like, bro, you're taking me out. You're taking me out. And last but not least, the bugs in this game was just terrible. It was the thing that fought against me the most in this game. Outside of the dialogue, outside of the repetitive ventures, the thing that fucked with me the most, and my girl could tell you, bro, like I was getting so pissed playing this game at some points because I was trying to get this review out at a specific time frame to where it would still be beneficial for my channel. And like I was just like, every free moment I had, I would eat, I would play Saints Row. I would eat, I would play Saints Row. Every free moment I had, I was putting towards Saints Row. And I feel like, honestly, it wouldn't have took me that long to play this game if I didn't have to deal with all of the crashes. I bought this game on PC. I was able to run the game at ultra at 30 frames per second, 1080p. I ended up putting it on high instead so I can get that 60 to 100 frames per second. And the game played and looked very good, as you can see through gameplay and shit like that. But like the last mission, I had to replay that last mission at least 5 times. They had some pretty generous checkpoints, but the fact that it crashed my PC, like straight up crashed my PC to the point where I had to reboot my whole PC 5 different fucking times during that last mission is ridiculous. It is just simply ridiculous. And that's why I definitely can't. I wouldn't advise anybody on PC to buy this game. If you have a last-gen console, I would say get it for the last-gen console. I've heard that the game you can't see too much of a difference from, last gen to next gen. Like maybe some RTX stuff, but the game still looks good on last gen. I would say buy it on last gen before you put that shit on your fucking PC, because I was legit scared at points. I was like, bro, is my PC all right, bro? Like it's not responding. It's not responding. I was afraid for my fucking PC. I do not advise anybody buy this game on PC. I say personally, I own Saints Row 2 on PC, and that is a trash port. But Saints Row 2022 on PC is an even worse port because you actually are afraid for your investment when playing this game on PC. And it's really just the main missions. The game doesn't crash while you're free roaming too much. You have some hiccups where like the game kind of soft locks on you. And that's disparaging, but you could just reload the game and, you know, nothing much happens. And the checkpoints are pretty generous in this game, I will say. But just the dead ass crashes that I've dealt with this game has really hurt my experience with this game. And that was the main thing I felt was fighting with me with this game. The bad game design, the bad bugs and glitches, the crashes on PC, that really stopped me from enjoying this game a lot of times, because I was really enjoying my time a lot. You know, like when I got towards the last mission, I felt like, oh bro, I'm excited for this. This is the end, you know what I'm saying? And the plot that was going on was interesting, and I was like, oh, you know, we got to do this. I don't want to spoil anything. And I was kind of getting into it. But then the last mission was the buggiest, crashiest thing I've ever experienced in my fucking life. And I was just getting pissed at it. And by the time I got to the end, I was just like, bruh, fuck this game. But I still wanted to give it a good review because I enjoyed my time. And the bugs and glitches will get ironed out over time. But with all the negatives being said, I just want to say, bro, like, I don't feel as if even those negatives is worth y'all acting as if this is the worst Saints Row ever. If y'all demonize this game as much as y'all do, all you're doing is leaving it up for time for people to come back to this game when it's worth $25, like what I'm telling you guys to spend anyways. People coming back to this game and being like, oh, you know what? This was a good Saints Row. They're not experiencing the bugs. They're not experiencing the day one glitches. They're buying it for what it's really worth. And they're going to be like, oh, this was actually my favorite Saints Row. People are going to do that. And it's going to be because people like y'all are like demonizing this fucking game. Y'all are demonizing the game as if it's the worst thing since like y'all acting like it's trash. Like it's that trash. It's a bad game, but it's not a bad Saints Row. Maybe that's a commentary on how bad Saints Row is, but it's not a bad Saints Row in my opinion. I like the story. I've grown to like the characters. I've grown I like the gameplay. I didn't have to grow to like that. The gameplay was pretty cool from the first hour, and I never got tired of it till the last hour. I like the gameplay. The driving is pretty cool. The graphics is okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not next gen by any means, but it's definitely end of last gen. So, I mean, the game, a lot of people are going to come to this game maybe a year from now and want a sequel. And it's because y'all are trashing this shit so fucking hard that maybe we may not see a sequel. Maybe y'all don't want a sequel, but I don't know. I honestly, I would like to see Volition do something new, in my honest opinion. But y'all are trashing this game so bad, it's gonna be like one of those games that everyone's gonna love within 3 years. And time is not gonna look well on y'all, because y'all making the game out to be like the worst shit ever. And it's really not. And when people get their hands on this game, when it's the appropriate price, everyone's gonna look back on this game very fondly. And that's my opinion. I don't think this shit is going to age well for you guys making it out to seem like it's the worst game ever. It's really not. It's the worst game in this year. The way it released, yes, I'll give it that. Worst game this year, the way it's released. But it's not going to be the worst Saints Row. I don't think that's going to be the ranking of the worst Saints Row, in my opinion. Yeah, but that's all I got for y'all boys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you do please leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.